Well, there have been some attempts at bilingual education. And I say that very clearly, attempts at bilingual education in the Northern Territory and some other places across Australia. But they've only been attempts. They've never been real bilingual education programs. Most of them have only been a transitional bilingual. And the transitional bilingual was bilingual up to year 3, 1, 2, 3, bang, cross into English. And I remember sitting with the Minister of Education one time and discussing this, one of the Ministers of Education in Northern Territory. And he said to me very clearly, he said, you know, it's clear, Richard, while those kids are speaking their own language in year 1, 2 and 3, they come to school all the time. They go into year 4 and 50% of them drop off. So bilingual education, even though the attempts, the pathetic attempts that have been used, have worked and worked very well. But they were the wrong forms of bilingual education. The bilingual education that works across the world in many places in many countries across the world is a fully integrated bilingual system right up to university, where people learn in their own language while they're learning the second language, English. Unfortunately, most education people involved in education debates, whether they're politicians or even people from the education department, specialists in education, get this notion in their head that Aboriginal people somehow should be forced to learn English. You can't force people to learn another language. You can create learning material for them to learn another language. And there is no learning material that exists for Aboriginal people, for Yolngu and Arnhem, or any other Aboriginal group in Australia, including those who speak Aboriginal English. There are no language programs that exist for them to learn English. Now, isn't this a big gap in the education system? None. I can learn Indonesian, Russian, Portuguese, whatever like. I can go online and find programs. The original Australians can search until the day they die, and they will not find a program online or anywhere else where they can learn mainstream English. Bilingual education, they say, failed. It never did. It never was properly implemented. And mainstream education fails dismally, yet people continually try to run out the same sort of programs that were run out in the first few years of the colony for Aboriginal people. Why don't we get our act together and actually use materials that work, and using materials where people are learning knowledge in their first language. They will learn it very fast, extremely fast. They will outstrip or be equal to any other students from any other cultural background. And while they learn English as a second language, now these materials can be created online. We're doing some of that these days with a very, very small budget, almost non-existent budget. And we know that those materials will have great effect. When I've been able to share them with the people, they just love them. So please, can we have some decent bilingual education right through to university, where dictionaries are developed also so people can understand the academic terms, English terms that they're struggling with every day. When I get on a plane and I'm flying back to Nhulunbuy and I'm sitting next to a student who's on the plane beside me, and they cannot even read the words on the seat in front of them that tells them where their life jacket is. And they're coming back from a high school or some tertiary education system. And then when I just use the terms like academic learning, and they can't even tell me what academic means, I know the system is failing fast. And it's not the bilingual system, it's the mainstream English, force English education programs that are disastrous. And the end result of them ends up that these young people, they get told that they get a certificate, and they might get a certificate, but little knowledge. They then try to get a job and they last in a job for 5 minutes because they haven't got the knowledge to really be able to function well in that particular position. So yeah, it's not bilingual that's the problem. It's the mainstream that's the real problem.